Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Giants Center. This is game 4 of 4 for us here on Bob Long Sports. This is an audio-only broadcast of the PIAA 6A Boys State Championship and the last game of the 2024-2025 high school basketball season. Bob Long will have Matt Paul with us here shortly. Excited to get things going between Father Judge and Roman Catholic. We are running just a little bit late, and so the clock reads about 13 and a half minutes to go. Just do want to give everyone that fair warning that we are a good ways off from the opening tip of this one here. So if you could just kind of hang with us here, we'll come back on in just a couple minutes. We'll give you some reminders as we get closer to tip that we're still here and that we are ready to go. So again, Bob Long, Matt Paul will be with you here in about 15 minutes. Tip is expected at approximately 8:20 p.m. or so, and we'll be with you audio only per PIAA policy for the final game of the regular season of high school basketball. Thanks everyone for being with us, and we'll be right back. Again, if you are just joining us here, Bob Long, Matt Paul will be with us momentarily. Tip is expected at about 8:20 p.m. And so we will take a quick break here. You'll hear some ambient noise, and then we'll be back for tip-off shortly.
PIAA, as we both share a deep commitment to the communities that we serve. Best of luck to all of you.
First time I picked up a spot in CFR, I knew it was good. You know that feeling when that first going on, never leaves your head. It's crazy. Lifts you to new heights. Got you doing things like that. Once you're hooked, ain't nothing else. It teaches you to be a student first. To lay it all out, just to do it again. And the moment you pick up a tip, it's always there.
Just checking back in with you folks here to remind everyone that tip is expected somewhere around 8:20 p.m. 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock here counting down. Both teams out there warming up. Father Judge and Roman Catholic, round number 3. We're pretty thrilled here at Bob Long Sports that we had the opportunity to broadcast both of the first 2 games. This, of course, a little bit different here in the PIAA with their media rights and video streaming rights that this is going to be an audio-only broadcast, but thrilled to be here in the capacity that we are able to be here. So again, Bob Long, Matt Paul will be with you in just a few minutes from the Giant Center. Stay with us.
some shirts and goodies to toss into the stands to the fans. So make some noise, girls and boys. Try and get the attention of the PA National Guard and see if you can catch a t-shirt or goodie from the Pennsylvania National Guard. And we thank them for their service.
One more reminder, folks, that we are here on Bob Long Sports audio-only broadcast. So thankful that you're with us here for the last game of the high school basketball season, and it really does not get much better than this. I've had the pleasure of calling state championship games for many, many years now, and one in particular that stands out was when Roman Catholic played Archbishop Wood a couple of years ago. It was Catholic League on Catholic League, good on good, and we are certainly excited that that's the case here tonight as well. Father Judge, Roman Catholic, round 3. Join us in just a minute. Okay, now we're ready to rock here from the Giant Center. Roman Catholic, Father Judge, round 3, the storylines write themselves. Bob Long, Matt Paul here to bring you audio-only content here from the Giant Center as per PIAA policy. We are sure thrilled to be here. These are the 2 preeminent programs in Pennsylvania, certainly this year. Roman Catholic, certainly historically, and Father Judge, Matt Paul, certainly writing themselves into that echelon year over year with the investment the school has made both in the trades program, in their athletics department, and the product that they're putting on the floor. These are 2 programs that expect to be at the pinnacle going forward.
Well, clearly, the Crusaders have drawn a lot of interest winning the Catholic League championship this past year. First time since 1999. There's a lot of buzz in the city, kids wanting to go to Father Judge to wear that Columbia blue. I see the fans in the stands, excited to see this matchup. Roman has been waiting for this day for some time after falling to the Crusaders at the Palestra. Totally different scene here with empty seats in the corners as we talked the last time at the Palestra. I expect a big game early and often from Tyler Sutton from Roman Catholic, and also Sammy Jackson. Expect him to assert himself early on in this matchup.
Starters expected for Father Judge. Derek Morton Rivera, number 44, a wing, terrific player. He shoots it at 40%, and he is a high-volume three-point shooter. He will probably see his 200th three-point attempt on the year here tonight. He's taken 193. Kevar Kennedy. Folks in the Father Judge circles thought that he lost out on the MVP. It was won by Jordan Ellerby, very deserving from St. Joe's Prep, but Kennedy had that good of a year where he was right in that mix. Rocco Westfield, he's taken 136 triples this year, made 43% of them. Nazir Tyler, a big-time player, can knock it down from beyond the arc, very strong on the ball. And then Everett Barnes, he is the big. He's going to Loyola Maryland next year, and he has really worked his body at a very, very high level, getting him to this point. On the Roman Catholic side of things, expect to see Tyler Sutton. He was banged up, a little sick, under the weather earlier in the state playoffs. He played through it that night in a second-round matchup against Central York, and he has been unstoppable since. One of the top 25 sophomores in the class nationally from a recruiting standpoint, and we've seen that jump that he has made even from the first time Roman Catholic played Father Judge to then the second time at the Palestra and what he's done through the PIAA state playoffs, Matt.
That feels like a couple months ago, and it was in the middle of January. Now we're in springtime, and we're still playing basketball. I'll take it. I can watch these 2 teams play in Hershey at the Palestra or at Thomas Jefferson University. It's a great matchup that, again, the Cahillites are excited for this third bite of the apple.
The rest of the starters for Roman Catholic, the Jackson brothers, sons of Philadelphia basketball legend Mark Jackson. Sammy, the junior, and Sharif, the senior. Sharif headed to Lafayette next year, and Sammy with a cavalcade, a number of D1 offers to his name. And then beyond that, we expect to see Sebastian Edwards as a starter, a young man who has really started to shoot the ball well, shooting it at 34% on the year, but that really doesn't tell the tale. Late in the regular season, Matt, he was shooting it at 28%. So those 6 percentage points over the last month, he's been really efficient and a key to Roman Catholic's resurgence. And then finally, C.J. Miller, kind of do-it-all type of guy in the front court, kind of a 3/4. He will be a key for Roman Catholic as well.
Last time we saw these guys, the peripheral guys, the guys that aren't the main guys, stepped up at the Palestra, the semifinal game. Rocco Westfield had a monster game. Again, this kind of environment, shooting the ball from the perimeter early can be treacherous. It's tough to shoot in buildings like this, especially when there aren't as many fans in the stands. The advantage, I think, is on the inside with Roman. If Jackson can secure himself into the paint, he likes going over that right shoulder to his left hand. Sammy Jackson, I expect a big game out of him. He could be quiet at times through their offense, but Tyler Sutton getting up and down the floor, I think will push the pace, and again, we'll see a much different style of play than we did the last time they played.
coaches for these two programs, a couple of Chris's and a couple of stars in the coaching industry. Chris McNesby, he's here for his second stint with Roman Catholic, looking for yet another PIAA championship. Chris Rowntree, this is his first big-time job. He was an assistant under John Moscow at Archbishop Wood, ended up taking over at his alma mater, of course, is Father Judge. Won a Catholic League championship back in the 98 year, went back to the Palestra in 99, and then won the school's first championship at the Catholic League in 27 years, just about a month ago. He has been a big part of this program's resurgence, and they're looking to take that last step. They've never been to a state tournament prior to this year. Catholic League only joined the PIAA in 2008, let alone won a state championship, and they have that opportunity here today. We will now pause for the national anthem. Good on good. Some people don't like it. Philadelphia Catholic League versus Philadelphia Catholic League for the state final. I tell you what, Matt, I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm excited that we're seeing the two best in the state going at it, and I don't think there's any question about that. And before we get going, Matt, I just want to tell you the opportunity to broadcast with you all year this year and dating back to when you really put on the headset for the first time last year. You deserve to be here on the state's biggest stage, and I'm thrilled that you're here with me.
I really appreciate the opportunity. I didn't realize, one, how difficult this job is in terms of preparation, thinking about the game, the cadence, the teamwork, the camaraderie, the ability to work with another person in this space, but also the space of the time in between you talking versus me talking. I've learned a lot. I have a great appreciation for your knowledge of the game, to bring in people like Josh, Aaron Wright, folks that know the game but come from a different lens. It's been a lot of fun for me, and it's made me appreciate the game even more.
Father Judge, Roman Catholic, the two best were underway. Father Judge is in white. They won the tip. Roman Catholic in the purple. They get back into the half court. Man-to-man set. Father Judge moving from right to left as we see it. Everett Barnes with a touch. Kavar Kennedy now on the left wing. Tough pass, gets it to Derek Morton Rivera, who hits it from just north of the elbow.
Speaking with Mark Rodriguez earlier, the team's strength and conditioning guy says he's got no conscience on the court, which is a good thing when you're a jump shooter.
Sammy Jackson rolls off a screen, rattles around, won't go. Offensive rebound by Sharif Jackson. Great footwork in the lane. High off the window, won't go. Jackson comes down with it again. He missed that one. A second offensive rebound for Sharif Jackson. Missed it a third time. But Roman Catholic comes up with it again, this time C.J. Miller. What a great first offensive possession, cashed in with a quick jumper from 7 feet away by Sebastian Edwards.
The determination from the Cahillites to get that rebound 4 times. Getting off the glass.
Derek Morton Rivera now has it top of the key. Nazir Tyler thought about it. Inside they go. And Sharif Jackson picks up the personal foul. Great seal inside by Everett Barnes. Does his work off the ball and ahead of time. And on the feed, almost nothing that Jackson could do at that point.
I like the language of getting that work done early. The deeper you can get closer to the basket, the easier it is to make the layup. Jackson could have been called the first time, but definitely got him the second time on the wrist.
2 shots coming for Everett Barnes. He's got that high over the head type foul shot, standing at 6'10". You might not think it, but this young man is really shooting it well from the foul line this year at 68%.
What a luxury to have when you're trying to throw the ball inside, where you know that guy's got confidence. You're going to pass it to him more often if you know he's going to make free throws.
Father Judge 4. Roman Catholic 2. Across the timeline, Sammy Jackson has it on the left wing. A quick pass for Sharif Jackson at the top of the key. He can knock it down. He'll take the shot. It's off the heel. Rocco Westfield brings it down. One and done that time for Roman Catholic.
Almost the same first 2 plays that we saw at the Palestra, with Sharif taking the top of the key 3.
The turnover there by Father Judge leads to a corner 3. That one's good for Sammy Jackson. Great defense there in the half court by Sebastian Edwards. He took the steal off the given handoff, got to the baseline, a good kick for Sammy Jackson, 5 for Roman Catholic. Now Westfield got into the lane, tried to hold that pivot foot as he came to the jump stop, but he drug it along. It's a turnover for Father Judge.
Got to minimize mistakes early on in the offense. Rocco's trying to assert himself into the offense. The corner 3 by Sammy Jackson.
Here's Tyler Sutton. He went to the headband throughout a lot of the state playoffs. Not this time. He's headbandless as he floats to the baseline. A shot was short. Here comes Morton Rivera. He's breaking out ahead of the defense. Couldn't put it in. Good job recovering there by Edwards. And we go 94 feet at a time. Sutton on the baseline. Gives it up for Edwards. Kick to the corner. Sammy Jackson, same spot, same result. A corner triple. 8-5. Megaport and 8-4 Roman Catholic.
That does wonders for a shooter's confidence. Get him the ball.
Sebastian Edwards again with a hand in the passing lane leads to a steal for Roman Catholic. They bring it down the floor quickly. Sammy Jackson, he's hit the 2 threes. Now at the top of the key, gives it back to Tyler Sutton. Into the half court come the Kaolites. They played a lot of half court offense throughout the majority of the season. Started going up tempo after that loss to Father Judge. Haven't looked back since. Sutton double teamed in the corner. Good kick out for Sharif Jackson. Jackson sizes up Everett Barnes, spins, footwork, and a right-handed finish as he slithered his way into the lane.
Go ahead, big fella. Drive it to the paint. Shot fake, pivot. Finish with the right hand.
Kennedy up with the left hand, and it's good. Little discard on Tyler Sutton, and then over the top of Sharif Jackson. A quick 3 by Sammy Jackson, recovered by guess who? Sebastian Edwards at the elbow, and a shove from behind against C.J. Miller. It's going whoa. That's going to go against Father Judge, and I can't imagine that's the right call. C.J. Miller got a little shove in the back there, I thought, Matt.
I saw what you saw. We might have missed something there.
Oh, nope. Okay, they just pointed the wrong direction.
Right.
The officials got that one right, so C.J. Miller picks up his first personal foul, team's second. The officials here tonight, by the way, our buddy Aaron Hart sent this over to her. Pat Tobler, Corey Lord, and Rob Hamilton. Great assignment for these 3.
Into the game, Max Mashinsky for Rocco Westfield.
Good slasher. Can knock down the 3, does a lot of things, and brings a different element to the table. There's Nazir Tyler stripping his way along the lane and putting it in with the left hand. Sammy Jackson got to the rim. It was taken away from him all in one motion as he went into the shot. McNesby can't believe there wasn't a foul. Now loose ball on the floor, taken away from Kavar Kennedy. A held ball, and it'll be Roman Catholic basketball with 4:08 to play. Rare that you see Kavar Kennedy stripped like that.
You wonder if the referees are going to call it tight or letting them play. This is letting them play. It's going to be physical, it appears here going forward. Should have been a layup and or a foul going up there for Sammy Jackson, but must have been a clean stop.
Sammy Jackson flashes. Get it to Sharif Jackson in the high post. Spins, gets to that right shoulder and couldn't hit it. Tough bucket there in transition. Here comes Kevar Kennedy. The floater did not draw any iron. And Sammy Jackson now, Sharif Jackson up the floor for Tyler Sutton, who puts it up and in. That's one of those three-quarters court passes that Sharif Jackson's thrown a lot of over the state tournament as Roman Catholic determines they want to go up-tempo.
The son of a coach. His father coaches a lot in the Philadelphia area in the AAU circuit. Clearly he's been trained well to get the ball out as deep as he can in transition.
Judge in the half court. Tyler thought about the three, lost his footing, lost the ball, able to come up with it and got rid of it before traveling. Barnes now at the top of the key. Kevar Kennedy glides to the hole, puts it over the outstretched arm of Sharif Jackson. Jackson with a three-quarters court pass to Sammy Jackson, who missed it. Good defense by Mashinsky in transition. Morton Rivera, pull up, nailed it. Quasi-transition for Derek Morton Rivera. He is unabashed about letting it go, and it's 13-12 Father Judge.
If I were the point guard for the Crusaders, I'd find him early and often in the offense. He just gets you going in a way where everybody feels good when that ball goes in the basket.
And a double dribble is called against Tyler Sutton as he kind of carried that one towards the sideline, picked it up, and then dribbled it again. Media timeout, 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play. A chance for everyone to catch their breath. What a pace to this one, and it's exactly what we expected it to be, Matt. And if I can give you my thought on it, Roman Catholic has lost twice to Father Judge trying to get into the half court and play at their tempo and slow down Father Judge. I think if they're going to go down a third time, it's not going to be that way, and I think that was a conscious decision throughout the entire state playoffs from that purple huddle there.
Well, as far as offensive plays go, you know what the other team's going to run in the half-court set. It's a matter of whether you can stop it or not. You can't predict how many times you're going to outlet the ball and get in transition. Getting in transition, playing fast, yes, you may turn the ball over more, but I think it's a great strategy for the Cahill Lights to get out in transition. Sammy missed a couple of layups. They were contested, but I love him in attack mode. The one, he looked like he was going to try and dunk it, so maybe he was thinking a little bit too much, but I love him getting in transition. Sharif throwing the ball deep. I love that for them, and that Judge wants to play the same way, so it's going to come down to how many points that one team could score and who can hang on at the end.
Out of the timeout, 13-12. Father Judge leads 2:38 to play first quarter. By the way, this is not our scoreboard on the bottom left. It is the PIAA scoreboard, so I don't know why they keep putting, there we go. It was Newman, Goretti, and Hershey, so there we go. Judge on the left, Roman Catholic on the right. Father Judge dressed in white, Roman Catholic dressed in purple, and Father Judge moving from right to left. Kevin Beck checked into the game for the first time. Kind of a springy type of forward that can play from the outside as well. Can make life difficult on Sharif Jackson if Roman Catholic's in a man-to-man set. He gets that open three, couldn't hit it. Rebound there, though, by Kevar Kennedy, and it's last touched by Roman Catholic. And there you go. Sharif Jackson normally cleans the window there, Matt, on a defensive glass. But because he has to keep himself honest and guard Kevin Beck, he's not on the defensive glass.
Clearly a move to pull him away from the basket. Kevin Beck inserted into the game, shooting the ball just like he did at the Palestra. Westfield back in the game as well after sitting early.
Derek Morton Rivera now with a right-handed dribble gets to the top of the key. Handoff for Rocco Westfield. Westfield more of a catch-and-shoot player. Kevar Kennedy spins into the lane, kicks it back out. A deep three from Morton Rivera, no good. And last touch by Max Moshinsky as he got in there for decent position but flew so far towards the baseline that he ended up stepping on it.
Referee making the call is Pat Tobler, the pride of St. Williams Parish, and also a Cardinal Doherty alumnus.
1:44 to play first quarter. 13-12. Father Judge leads Roman Catholic. Kick to the corner. Samaj Robinson is good for three off the assist from Sammy Jackson. A paint touch and then a kick to an open shooter.
It's just clean offense without running a play.
Beck now glides to the top of the key. Hands off for Derek Morton Rivera. Morton Rivera off the screen. Tough shot. That's no good. Really good defense by Samaj Robinson. And off the Sharif Jackson carom, Robinson now into the front court. Robinson off the ball screen from Jackson. A kick for Sammy Jackson. Switching the floor, open three, Sebastian Edwards. Turning into a 40+% shooter over the last month of the season. 18-13 Roman Catholic.
Great shooters are confident shooters.
Westfield got into the lane, turned around, couldn't hit it. Playing off 2 feet, everything you want, just couldn't hit the bucket. Here comes Roman Catholic. Robinson pulls it down. They're looking to get the ball inside. Instead, Robinson will let it go, not even close, and Moshinsky brings it down. They double-team Sharif Jackson down low.
Moshinsky earning lots of minutes here in the first quarter.
Kevin Beck got to the elbow. Great spot to shoot it from and rattles it home. Good offense from Father Judge on the assist from Rocco Westfield.
I love that shot. First shot, three-pointer. On the first catch, this one was a much more controlled. Got his feet set, knocked it down.
Sharif Jackson with 8 seconds on the clock. Muscling his way in, and a foul is called. Judge could give that foul, and I think they recognize that. They might have actually wanted a jump ball, but nonetheless, the first team foul against Father Judge comes at 6.5. You don't want to be getting beat with a freight train like Sharif Jackson going to the bucket in the final seconds with all those fouls to give.
Kevin Beck knew how many fouls were on the scoreboard there. Similarly, at the Palestra, same idea happened at the end of the first quarter. And also the same thing happened with Coach Rowntree entering 2 guys just to play defense.
Final 4 seconds left. Sammy Jackson is now fouled well beyond the three-point line, stopping it at 3 seconds to go. They still do have another foul to give if they'd like. I could argue it's a little early for that. You don't want to be taking fouls all over the place here. Rakai Mason into the contest, no doubt, for offense-defense. And C.J. Miller is fouled. He was actually having a straight line beeline to the rim. It was a great pass on the back cut, and so Father Judge takes the third team foul with 2.4 seconds to play in the first quarter. Another baseline out of bounds coming for Roman Catholic. 2.4 to go. Sammy Jackson, he lost it out of bounds. It was last touched by Max Moshinsky. It was good defense there by Moshinsky. We're down to 0.6 seconds left, and Roman Catholic still hasn't gotten a shot off on this possession. Catch and shoot, Sammy Jackson, well short. And that's good defense by Father Judge. They gave 3 fouls to get there, and I'll ask my coach here, Matt Paul, whether in the first quarter of a game you're taking 3 fouls like that, but they keep Roman Catholic off the board, and it's a 3-point deficit for the Crusaders.
Well, he did it at the Palestra, so it doesn't surprise me that Coach Rowntree did it again here. It's not something that I tend to do. I've gotten beat on taking fouls while somebody's shooting the ball, and sometimes a kid not knowing what a take foul is. I've once had a kid tell the referee why he tackled the guy on the court, and he said, well, my coach told me to foul him. So you have to have smart guys to know how to handle those situations. When it's 3 seconds or less, you know this guy's going to catch and shoot it, and a really smart player will sometimes fake like he's going to shoot it to take the foul to try to get the 3 free throws.
This is the end of the first quarter here in the PIAA state championship game. Doubling, of course, is the second Philadelphia Catholic League championship. A good crowd has made its way to Hershey. First time that Father Judge has been in the state tournament since the Catholic League joined in 2008, and I think their crowd here and their attendance shows that, Matt Paul.
Well, I saw them coming in. Obviously, the Columbia blue
stands out, doesn't it?
Stands out for sure. It's a pretty color, and I've seen more in Philadelphia. I didn't realize that many people went to Judge, but when you win, you tend to follow the teams that are winning. But I have noticed that there's more kids wanting to go to Judge. You know, when you feel the excitement of winning at the Palestra, going to the Palestra, Roman has had the lion's share of success in the Catholic League. Neumann Goretti, Wood, as we have discussed in the past. This is really great to see a new team emerge as one of the heavyweights.
Well, and I'll give you the stat, and we've talked about it on past broadcasts as well. North Catholic in 2008, now shuttered North Catholic. The last team not named Neumann Goretti, Roman Catholic, or Archbishop Wood to win a Philadelphia Catholic League, beg your pardon, championship until Father Judge did it this year.
Absolutely incredible. And you hope that there are more teams in the Catholic League that can win, that there are more, to share the pair, so to speak. But I'm really happy for Chris and his staff. They put a lot of time and energy, 12 months a year. And, obviously Roman is a juggernaut to get by. See if they can get by them 3 times in one season.
Second quarter underway. Father Judge moving from right to left. Kennedy gets a handoff on the weave to the top of the key. Nazir Tyler now, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Carving his way into the lane, but it was Kevin Beck setting the moving screen that's going to send it the other way. And there you go. He took that foul late in the first quarter. Guess what, Matt? Now to the bench with 2 personal fouls.
He may have been coming out anyway, but that foul there is a point of emphasis when you have the ball or when you're screening and you stick my mom would call it the behind. You stick your butt out and you can get called for a foul by just changing your positioning.
Sharif Jackson launches and hits from the top of the key. He can do that.
He'll be doing more of that next year at Lafayette College.
Moshinsky all the way to the rim. That's a big-time move, but it's going to be a hook called against Max Moshinsky. That's his first personal foul. Take the bucket off the board for Father Judge.
It's a good move. Not sure he needed the hook, but it sure gave him some space to score the ball.
Tyler Sutton now. Sharif Jackson from the top of the key. Sammy Jackson. Underneath the screen goes Moshinsky, and Jackson could not make him pay. Here comes Kavar Kennedy after a good defensive rebound. Kennedy prods. Lefty. Count it. And one. Got to the weak side block and finished with the left. Some contact in the act of shooting. And Father Judge has cut it to 21-17, 7:05 to play, second quarter.
Barnes in transition created a little traffic screen, which gave Kennedy a little window to score the ball, absorb contact for the chance of the and one.
And he does hit it. Kavar Kennedy, a 75% foul shooter on the year. Ends up taking a lot of those late game situational foul shots as well. Roman Catholic into the half court. Sutton with the basketball. They get it to Sharif Jackson in the high post. Good kick to the top of the key. Sammy Jackson's 3 off the back iron. Rebound by Barnes, and now Kennedy runs the floor. Moshinsky, he'll go baseline again. That same spin move that led to the hook on the last play. Tyler back for Moshinsky. He's on the wing. Moshinsky slides his way to the rim, and he's fouled by C.J. Miller. That's the second personal foul against C.J. Miller for Roman Catholic. It comes with 6:36 to play in the second quarter, and it was in the act of shooting for Moshinsky.
He came in the game about the 6-minute mark in the first quarter and has played significant minutes here. If you remember, he didn't come into the fourth quarter at the Thomas Jefferson Arena and had 2 big buckets there in the fourth quarter. Big minutes here. The season changes 2 months later. Kids, develop confidence. Coaches develop confidence in certain players. Obviously, he's earned the confidence from Coach Rowntree.
Max Moshinsky hit the first free throw, deadened it against the back of the iron, and it popped through the cylinder.
Great
that
rotation.
One with 3 ticks on the rim. It's got to be a shooter's roll when you can tick the rim 6 times on 2 free throws and have 2 makes.
All 3, Beck, Westfield, and Moshinsky can all shoot the ball because of great rotation on the ball, like Tyler Sutton.
That's a wing 3 for Tyler Sutton to answer Father Judge. Good catch there by Everett Barnes. Played off 2 feet, got it up and off the window for 2. 24-22, Roman Catholic, 6:08 to play second quarter.
Credit
Barnes.
Nasir Tyler on that bounce pass in the paint.
Edwards, Sebastian Edwards with a healthy hoist, comes off the front rim. Here comes Kavar Kennedy, all the way to the basket. He was blocked, and that was last touched by Roman Catholic on the baseline. A good block there by Roman Catholic, though, running down the floor with Kavar Kennedy. Kennedy already racking up some rebounds in this contest here. And I'll tell you what, when he gets a rebound, he is taken off with it down the floor, trying to create opportunities. They have him for 2. I don't know. I must remember those 2 very well. I think you might have some more than that. with 5:52 to play here in the second quarter. A timeout for Chris McNesby. You haven't gotten to talk much because this is pretty wild pace here, but what stands out for you?
Well, as we've talked early in terms of strategy, it just feels like the training wheels have been taken off Roman Catholic. They're letting them run up and down the court. They're looking to get up and go. It hasn't worked every time, but from a scoring standpoint, they're up 24-22 with 5:52 in the second. They can sustain this type of effort over the course of 4 quarters. Tyler Sutton hasn't really gotten going, although he made his last bucket. And when he makes a bucket, expect him to attack even faster and harder the next time he gets the ball. Sammy Jackson's only missed two shots from the perimeter. He missed a couple of shots in transition, but I would just encourage him to continue to shoot the ball.
Everett Barnes flashes on the inbound. Derek Morton Rivera gets it on a pass from Kavar Kennedy. A step back for Morton Rivera, tipped back there by Barnes. They retain the possession up near the logo in the hands of Kavar Kennedy. Now he has it on the right wing. Barnes working hard, looking for the basketball. Now sets the ball screen. Roman goes underneath, and Kavar Kennedy launched the three that came up short. Sharif Jackson, he can take it coast to coast, and he does, and he's fouled by Everett Barnes in the act of shooting. That one went begging off the rim, but got to his strong left hand over his right shoulder, and on that left-handed dribble on the penetration, an easy call for the official.
I've seen Roman play 5 times this year in person. I haven't seen Sharif take the ball like that in transition. He's almost always giving it up to get it back, but I do like him attacking Barnes in transition. You want to get Barnes out of the game because he's such an incredible defender for most of it as a help defender and on-the-ball defender.
Sharif Jackson, a 66% foul shooter on the year. Everett Barnes, by the way, picked up his first personal foul. Kennedy now will walk it up the floor without any opposition from Roman Catholic, who gets back into the man-to-man defense. Morton Rivera runs off a screen. Barnes fakes the handoff at the high post. Kennedy has it now beyond the three-point line. Still no touches inside the three-point line. Tyler up near the logo, nearly gave it away. Kennedy, inside he goes, deflected on the pass intended for Barnes by Sharif Jackson. Sammy Jackson has it now. Robinson has taken 2 hoists. He gives it up, gets it back, a corner 3. That was halfway down, but guess who? Sharif Jackson in there with the rebound. Couldn't put it in on the follow. Kavar Kennedy, no numbers, doesn't matter. Gets to the rim, puts it in, and puts Sammy Jackson in the spin cycle. Heck of a bucket.
A little shake and bake move by Kavar Kennedy.
Tyler Sutton comes to a jump stop. Robinson with a righty floater. That's no good. He can really play, no doubt about it, but I think Father Judge will take Robinson, taking 6-7 shots a half. Up and under, it's blocked. Off the hands of Kavar Kennedy, blocked by Sharif Jackson. Here comes Sebastian Edwards all the way in, and a blocking foul is called against Nazir Tyler. The issue there, Tyler kind of got in the way, but you think about, okay, what Aaron Hart always tells us, right? 2 feet on the floor, facing the ball handler, puts you in legal guarding position. He had 2 feet on the floor, but his back was to Sebastian Edwards, an easy call for this officiating crew.
Legal guarding position. I even learned that call this year along with your broadcast. It's important because I use it as a coaching piece now. What I'm really impressed with, and Sharif is now coming out of the game, the last possession, he missed the putback, but he got the offensive rebound. He got shook on a dribble drive by Kavar Kennedy, comes back and blocks the shot. His effort is off the charts, and they're going to need him to continue to do so. Barnes off the court as well.
Well, think about the time here, right? You're dealing with media timeouts. Most likely next stoppage will be an extended media timeout. These coaches, they get it. And certainly McNesby started first by taking Sharif Jackson off the floor. And so I think from a matchup standpoint, you take Barnes off the floor more likely than not at that same point. You kind of want to match big on big if you're Chris Rowntree. Moshinsky nearly gives it away. He's going to get it back. Puts it on the deck, gets to the rim, missed it. And a foul is called. Who's this going against? Still haven't gotten a determination if this goes against Father Judge or Roman Catholic. 3 bodies flew in for the rebound. Father Judge, though, looks as if they are going to maintain possession.
I was waiting for a signal what direction the ball was going to go. I think the referee was either thinking it through or maybe pointed to the ground, and I missed it, but it wasn't clear.
Timeout on the floor, 28-24. Roman Catholic leads. Bob Long, Matt Paul here for the last high school basketball game of the 2024-2025 season. And let's take it holistically, Matt. You've seen a lot of games. You've seen Philadelphia Catholic League and beyond. I know you were very interested in LaSalle basketball season, among other things. What has stood out to you on a holistic basis about Pennsylvania high school basketball this year?
Well, the parity in the Catholic League, I was happy to see some of the teams like LaSalle, beat Newman Goretti on the road, score 80 points. That's not something I would have predicted early in the year. There were some terrific athletes in the league that I was able to see up in person. Kivar Kennedy is a real treat to watch live. The speed at which he plays. Tyler Sutton, you clearly know he's going to play at a very high level. Sammy Jackson, plays such team basketball. You could see that he'll be able to play at a high level. Maybe, with the new coach at Villanova to make you happy, Bob.
That would make me very happy.
Some of these guys staying local, but the level of basketball here in Pennsylvania, and even the last game we just saw with South Allegheny beating Archbishop Wood.
South Fayette.
South Fayette. My apologies. The team aspect of the game, the talent on the boys' side, the girls' side, the talent level in Pennsylvania is incredible.
Little back cut by Derek Morton Rivera out of the timeout. Slipped to the weak side block. Good find on that entry pass from Kennedy. It's 28-26 Roman Catholic. KLI's ball moving from left to right with 3:35 to play in the second quarter. Sammy Jackson has it at the top of the key. Now Sharif Jackson, one-on-one against Barnes, goes right at him. Good defense there by Kennedy, who slipped it away. And now Derek Morton Rivera glides to the hoop, counted and one off the glass. And Tyler Sutton picks up the personal foul. And one for Derek Morton Rivera.
His teammates call him the microwave because he heats up so fast. He's so poised, but so tough in transition.
Derek Morton Rivera. 74% from the line. Hits the free throw and completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Father Judge leads by one. Another classic, Matt. Here we go.
Back and forth. I love the high scoring here and not the slow it down, old style.
Well, the final of the Catholic League Championship game was 41-34. Judge got another steal. Are they going to come up with the basketball? They sure will. Rocco Westfield on the floor first. Kennedy came up with it. Give it back to Westfield. NBA three, count it. And when he gets his feet set, catches it in the pocket, as you like to say, Matt. That's 10 times out of 10 for Rocco Westfield.
You can tell when a shooter is going to shoot when you know that they haven't taken too many shots. They're looking for the space between them and the defender. Rocco wasn't looking for the line. He was looking for the ball, knowing that he was getting his left foot down, right foot, and that looked just like the Palestra game.
Great story on the Westfield brothers, done by one of the local TV channels. His brother signed a contract with the Philadelphia Union. That's quite the athletic family there, Matt, between Rocco and his brother playing for the Union. A great story, and Judge grads excelling everywhere.
They were right behind the bench. It was his brother and Kevin Sullivan, the phenom with roots in Juniata. They were sitting behind the bench and loving every minute of being a fan. And then I've been watching Rocco's brother play for the Union a bit. He plays a defensive position. Great homegrown talent. Philly guys coming through the system of the Union Academy. Brendan Sullivan, his father, the father of Kevin Sullivan, Brendan's father, Larry Sullivan, the legendary Larry Sullivan, was the Father Judge soccer coach for many, many years and taught me the Father Judge fight song.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll have to see how this one goes, see if you need to break into song here. Back to action, Sammy Jackson with the basketball, Roman Catholic moving from left to right. This is an audio broadcast of the PIAA 6A Championship per PIAA policy. A top-of-the-key three is good for Sammy Jackson coming off that ball screen. Catch and shoot. Now Tyler the other way, spins into the lane, stops with 2 feet at the elbow. Kavar Kennedy with the basketball. Up by the logo now, backs his way in, gives it up. Morton Rivera is there. A lot of contact on both sides, and the whistles stay silent. They are letting him play. Kennedy in the lane. Now a foul has to be called there. Dwayne Ruffin picks up the personal foul, his first.
The defensive intensity from the Cahillites, it's palpable. The energy that they're playing with at the moment. They're cheering on the bench. Coach McNesby's cheering on the bench.
That's foul number 5 there, so this should be foul shots for Father Judge. Both teams will be in the bonus. Well, Judge already is in the bonus with that 5th foul against Roman Catholic. Father Judge has 4 fouls. The next will put the Cahillites into the bonus.
That's 74% from the line. As a point guard, as a coach, you want your point guards to be confident driving the ball and getting to the free throw line. But especially with the new rule, the 5-foul bonus, it's an additional advantage with your point guards. Love getting into the paint, love getting fouled. And we'll see how many points are scored here in the next 2:14 from the free throw line.
Kennedy hit the first and the second with the shooter's roll, 34-31. Father Judge leads Roman Catholic, 2:12 to go, second quarter. Dwayne Ruffin with the touch. Samaj Robinson, they're going, this is about as deep as they go into their bench. Sebastian Edwards with the 2 Jackson brothers. So Tyler Sutton is on the bench for the time being, under 2 minutes to go.
There's 3 guys in the paint trying to keep Sharif out of there.
Sammy Jackson took the handoff from Sharif, top of the key, defended by Kavar Kennedy. Here's Samaj Robinson. Robinson goes baseline, well defended by Westfield. Sharif Jackson into the lane, 1 touch in there, throws it away. Looking for Ruffin, who didn't come to the basketball. Guess who? Kavar Kennedy comes up with it. Nazir Tyler beyond the 3-point line, gives it up for Rocco Westfield, well defended on the left wing. Westfield will back it out to the logo, handoff for Kavar Kennedy, give it back for Westfield. Open wing 3 is well short. Good rebound there by Dwayne Ruffin, and he's fouled by Kavar Kennedy. His first personal foul. He's got the 11 points on the night, and that will now send Roman Catholic to the line to shoot 2. Not a good foul, Coach Matt Paul.
Well, it's one of those reach in that turns into 2 free throw opportunities. I was thinking about the play with Westfield. On a slip screen, he gets himself so wide open that he has too much time to think about the shot. A lot of times you short arm that shot when you're trying to aim it versus just shooting it in rhythm. It's different from the top of the key versus the wing. Westfield prefers the top of the key 3.
Dwayne Ruffin came into the contest shooting 8 for 17 from the foul line. Doesn't get a ton of time. The reason they're so deep into their rotation is because of the foul trouble. C.J. Miller with 3 personal fouls, and Tyler Sutton picked up his second just a couple of minutes ago. They're trying to hang through to the end of the half if they can with those 2 guys on the bench.
And those guys have gotten better over the course of the season because we're in late March here. These guys are older, more mature, have gotten more practice time against the top guys. They've clearly gotten better and earned the confidence of their coach.
Ruffin got the steal. Dwayne Ruffin will take it in and lay it in to tie the game. He hit 1 of 2 and then got the steal and score in transition. Lazy passing by Father Judge. Tied at 34, and by the way, Roman Catholic has matched their total points from the Philadelphia Catholic League final. Ruffin again, and it'll stay here with Father Judge, but he took it right away from the breadbasket of Kavar Kennedy as he twirled to the floor and was out of bounds handling the basketball on the baseline. Great minutes from Ruffin.
Absolutely, and the energy that he's bringing to his bench, his team, the starters that he's been watching all year and now cheering him on. I love the energy that he's playing with.
Tyler gives it up for Everett Barnes on the wing, and that's off the knee. That should be off the knee. of Kevar Kennedy. Wow, that's not the right call, and I thought both of those officials had a better look at it than the call would indicate they did, Matt. I mean, that's not even close.
The Cahillites seem to have the best view themselves.
Oh, they called a foul, Matt. That's what they called. I didn't have that. I thought they just called it Father Judge basketball.
A foul and 2 free
Wow.
throws.
That's a big call late in this quarter. I had that as really good defense by Roman Catholic.
Sutton's going to come back in the game for the offensive possession.
Kevar Kennedy hits the first free throw.
And Ruffin stays in the game with 36 seconds left.
Why not?
I love to see those guys that don't get as much time earn more time within the course of the game. Their confidence rises. Sometimes they play a little bit out of themselves, but love his minutes. Wayne Ruffin.
36-34. Father Judge leads Roman Catholic, and for the first time all night, either team starting to slow it down a little bit. Sharif Jackson will hold the ball at his left side with 15 seconds on the clock. They're holding for one. See if they get the ball here to Tyler Sutton. He does get the ball. He's defended by Kevar Kennedy. Now they're going to go inside. Good pass. Extra one. They try to go back, and a foul is called with 0.9 seconds to go. And I do think that these officials may have lost the plot a little bit here, Matt. That's a loose ball with 0.9 seconds left in the bonus. I didn't see a ton of contact, and now Sharif Jackson goes to the line for 2. I think you've had one on each side of the floor that you got to question.
What I'm questioning, you used the word correlation or causation in your broadcast earlier today.
Yep.
I wonder if the previous call forced this call to be made because you want to make it as even as possible.
Sharif Jackson hit the first and hit the second. And Judge did not get the shot off. It did hit the backboard from three-quarters court, just the way we hoped it would be. 36 apiece through one half of play. And yes, Roman Catholic has now exceeded their entire game point total in the Philadelphia Catholic League final, Matt. And I know you're grinning it ear to ear when you think about how this game has been played.
Well, it's just more fun. Tonight we're going to say that the high school season ends, but there's AAU tournaments today, next weekend. These kids are going to get right back into their AAU teams. Hopefully they take a little bit of time off to let their bodies rest. But the game has changed. And as we were talking earlier with Sue O'Neill, the athletic director from Archbishop Wood, about the need to add a shot clock for the Philadelphia Catholic League, the PIAA in general. It just needs to happen. The Friends League has one. The Inter-Academic League has one. And it's forcing those teams to play faster. And I think it's just necessary. It'll make the game improve for all players, fans, and kids coming up.
Halftime here at the Giants Center. A battle of two Philadelphia Catholic League teams, and I think that's the point that I'd make there, Matt, in terms of the shot clock. I think you can get 14-member institutions of the Catholic League to approve that change. I think if you took that to order, I think you could get that. The problem is, as long as the Catholic League is in the PIAA, and there may be some folks listening to this broadcast saying, good, go, get out of here. And I to an extent, I understand how some people feel. They feel like they're boxed out of state titles. However, as long as that's the case, I don't think you're going to see a shot clock statewide, at least not for a very long time. Never's a long time, but for a long time, I think, Matt.
We'll see. I think it's going to happen in the next few years. I think the Catholic League will be leaders in this category. We'll start maybe even their own league.
So now we're going to welcome a guest into the booth here. Matt, Paul, great job by you here. And why don't you keep your headset on, Matt? Absolutely. And I want you to talk with us and Brian Mermelstein. Get that right?
Oh, yeah.
Brian Mermelstein is with us here, and we are so thrilled to have him on board here. And the reason we want to talk to you, Brian, is because you have been working on a documentary about the Philadelphia Catholic League Basketball Championship. You've been doing a documentary about, I guess it's turned into a Father Judge documentary, but how to get to the palestra, what that day is all about, and maybe you can tell us the rest.
Yeah, I mean, first, thank you for having me. Haven't put this headset on in a little bit, so this is a lot of fun, and you guys have done a terrific job all playoffs long and all year long with the coverage. But no, I mean, listen, the Catholic League playoffs, there's nothing like it in the state of Pennsylvania, and obviously that's evidenced by, 5 District 12 representatives here at the Giant Center. We've already had West Catholic, we've had Newman Goretti, we have someone's going to win this one, right? So
Devon Prep in the 4A.
Devon Prep, yes.
Let me put this as clearly as we can. There are 4 classifications where the Philadelphia Catholic League has a boys basketball team, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. And with West Catholic's win, it guarees that the Catholic League has the champion in each of those classifications.
And that just goes to the level of competition in the league. And I think through the documentary, it's been about, who has what it takes to get to the palestra and to win at the palestra. And Bob, you said it in your excellent interview, like it all comes down to Wednesday night at the palestra. And if you can weather that storm and Jason Tatum got booed out of that building for crying out loud. So if you can get through that environment successfully, there is no mountain you can't climb in the state. And so it's been fun to follow along with Judge and their story in the 27 years since their last championship in '98. And ultimately, whoever wins this one, it's the trilogy, right? I'm sure you've talked about it a couple times. So it'll be fun to kind of put a cap on the season and start looking towards next year where, there's no shortage of storylines. As you know, we almost got a T-shirt up here in the broadcast booth. But
they had folded that a little bit better, it would have gotten all the way up here.
No shortage of storylines. I mean, everywhere you go, like you said, West Catholic is a one-of-a-kind environment. Newman Goretti is a one-of-a-kind environment. And that's just the physical gyms, let alone the storylines and the people that bleed these colors. So it's been a heck of a ride this year and looking forward to continuing it into next season.
Matt, you can tell this guy's a storyteller, can't you?
I sure can.
So tell us about where people will be able to see this documentary, and I know you have a really cool event coming up this week as well.
So we're going to have an exclusive invite-only event in the Northeast to watch the premiere of the documentary, which means I have a pretty busy day tomorrow finishing this thing. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Follow on social, PCL Film 2025 on both Instagram and X, and also on YouTube as well. It'll end up there eventually once we get through the screenings. We kind of make sure we're showing it to the right people, and we get excited for what will be next year.
That was going to be my question, right? PCL Film 2025. By the way, if you're just joining us, it is halftime here at the Giant Center. We're speaking with Brian Mermelstein, who has done one of the best documentary-type content that I've seen about high school athletics, really ever. And so we're thrilled to have him here. He's in the last stages of it. What happens in the next 16 minutes, no doubt, will be a big part of the final product there. But, you said next year, PCL Film 2025 on Twitter and on Instagram. Is that just going to have to be PCL Film? Is this going to be a year-over-year thing?
I think so. I think we'll strip the 2025. This year was a little bit of a guinea pig. It was proof of concept, right? Can this kind of content work? In this era, it's all social media, quick edits, and all the kids want. And, this was really gratifying to see that there is an audience for long-form content still. The final product will be pushing 30 minutes. So the fact that we're going to get people to sit down and watch the whole thing really speaks to the storylines, the athletes, the level of basketball, and kind of everything, the allure that makes the Catholic League what it is.
That is just terrific. And what got you into hoops? What got you into video making, et cetera?
Listen, I've always been into it. In a past life, I was a broadcaster, and when I picked up a camera, I realized the opportunity, just like in broadcasting, to tell the stories that maybe might slip through the cracks. And I think, with this documentary, especially spending time with Roman and Judge and all the athletic directors in the league that have been so gracious in providing the access to their teams, to their schools, to their communities, I think just chasing that story kind of goes to show that it's not all about the prettiest film. You don't need the most expensive camera, but if you have a knack for telling those stories, that's really what the people care about. And it's been a pleasure to bring it to people who love Catholic League basketball, but also just love hoops in Philadelphia.
It is halftime here from the Giant Center. Bob Long, Matt Paul. We have Brian Mermelstein with us, who is putting together PCL Film 2025.
For now. Well, 25 for now.
And yes.
And beyond.
At all, yes.
And beyond.
Exactly. Matt, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see any of this or if you have any thoughts or questions for Brian.
No, I'm excited as a kid who grew up in Northeast Philadelphia. The Catholic League was really all I knew, from the Cardinal Doherty going down to the pit in North Catholic, Father Judge Ryan, Archbishop Wood. Felt like it took us an hour to get out to Warminster from Oxford Circle. The rivalries and the history of going to judge. Your kids went to judge. The neighborhoods of St. Matt's and St. Tim's feeding into Father Judge. They ran the same offense. I was able to grow up in the loony bin at Cardinal Doherty's gym, which was right behind the basket, and that's where I learned some of the bad words that I now know today. But I grew up on this stuff, so Philadelphia's a basketball city, as we all know. The Palestra games, there's nothing like it. For people that are from outside the Philadelphia region to come to one of those games and say, your high school team's playing in this environment with 9,000 people, and there's people outside, and can't get tickets for a high school game. It's just absolutely incredible. So to watch a film of it, I'm going to be promoting that as one of your biggest fans, so I'm excited.
I appreciate that. And listen, I think, like you said, going into next year, I'm eager to dig back through. There's a couple. 215 Archive on YouTube is incredible, whoever is behind that account. But to really dig back into the history of the Catholic League and maybe create a all-encompassing history to where we are now, there are endless storylines, and I can't wait to be able to tell them.
Well, then, if you haven't checked it out, Joe Malizia Sports Videos.
Yes, him too.
On Twitter.
Incredible archive there on YouTube.
R.I.P. to Joe and everything he was able to do, and it's kind of fun in some ways. And, I can't be a Joe and never would be a Joe, but it is fun to be able to kind of add in some ways the next chapter of those types of long form. You're the long form guy. I just mean full archive game broadcast, because it's truly history that's happening. It's history that's happening here tonight, and it'll be history going forward in one of the great leagues in the country. So Brian, I know you got film to take down here and film to go capture. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys. Have a good call.
Thanks, buddy. Brian Mermelstein, PCL Film 2025 and beyond, of course, years and years to come. Thanks to him for joining us here at half.
It's like Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond.
I think that's right. So, third quarter about to get underway from the Giant Center. Roman Catholic, Father Judge tied at 36, and they didn't start the clock.
Cardinal Doherty education from Pat Tobler. Outstanding eyes and ears to restart the third quarter. Oh, wait a second.
Well, I guess they took some time off the clock. So nonetheless, 7:52 to go. Roman Catholic in the purple. They're going from right to left here in the third quarter. Sutton a step back. Long two won't go. Kavar Kennedy, after the rebound by Tyler, will get the ball into the offense. Left to right for Roman, for Father Judge here in this third quarter, dressed in the white.
That was clearly a call to try to get Sutton going offensively. Just 5 points here in the first half.
Kennedy off the window, took contact. It fell off the cylinder, but he'll shoot two at the line.
Just love how tough his game is. He used the nickname Kevlar. I'm not sure if that's stuck like Velcro, but the guy drives the ball to the basket and is fearless getting into the paint.
And that is the third personal foul called against Tyler Sutton with 7:27 to play in the third quarter. So Sutton will take a seat. In comes Dwayne Ruffin. Well. I mean, Roman Catholic has not shown themselves to be all that deep all year long. Father Judge certainly normally goes deeper into their bench than Roman Catholic does. But Ruffin, he's got the ball in his hands here, Matt. He's going to run the point.
Why not?
Sebastian Edwards has it up near the logo, guarded by the longer Derek Morton Rivera. Sharif Jackson. Samaj Robinson checked into the game as well. Edwards gets into the post, looking for help, dishes it off for Dwayne Ruffin. Now Sharif Jackson has it. He's going to go one-on-one. Tough matchup there, though, as Barnes stands him up. On the baseline, Roman Catholic comes back. Edwards steps into a three, couldn't hit it. Solid check out there by Nazir Tyler. Derek Morton Rivera in transition. Double clutches off the window, it's good.
Early offense, transition offense. The offense for Roman's a little stagnant at the moment. I'd like to see Sammy Jackson assert himself here in the third quarter.
Last year we termed Father Judge guard high for the group of guards that they have, and they still have that great group of guards. It's deep, it's effective, but Roman Catholic, they have a big man. Sharif Jackson bodies his way inside and finishes with the right hand. Morton Rivera, that one won't go. A high tick off the rim. Rebound by Kavar Kennedy. Inside he goes, and he is fouled by Sharif Jackson on a baseline block. Second team foul against Roman Catholic. Second personal against Sharif Jackson.
Kavar drove the ball baseline without a plan and then saw his teammate Barnes near the basket, but tough pass to make, but he got away with it.
And now into the zone. They got the ball inside. Patience there by Kavar Kennedy. Up and under, using the rim as defense against the shot blocker. 42-38. Father Judge leads over Roman Catholic. 5:57 to play, third quarter.
Tyler with a great assist there on that play.
Samaj Robinson with the touch up near the logo. Dwayne Ruffin on the right wing. They get it inside for Sharif Jackson. A skip pass. Not great spacing as Sammy Jackson and Sebastian Edwards were in the same spot. Sharif Jackson bullies his way inside, lost it momentarily, and is screaming at the official on his way by, saying, I wanted an and one. That is dangerous there, and very, I would say, not what you normally see.
No, but I like it.
Sharif Jackson.
I like it. The Lions coming out of him here in his final game for Roman.
And I don't know why there was a stoppage of the clock, but there was at 5:33 to go. Sharif Jackson, called by Dan Hoban as a certified genius, and certainly a soft teddy bear until Maddie gets on the floor. And you saw a little bit of that juice right there. Hit the two off the glass to make it a 42-40 game. Judge with the basketball. Ball with Rocco Westfield at the top of the key. Barnes trying to get position, but a good job by Sharif Jackson to front him. Kennedy just kind of prodding his way on the left wing. Kennedy gets into the lane. Kennedy continues to go with his back to the basket, now comes baseline. Lobs it up for Nazir Tyler. Tyler puts it up, he's hit in the act of shooting, and he'll shoot two as he drove left, got it back to the right hand, going up off the window, and missed the shot.
A couple times there, Barnes was in a position to post and seal, and he maybe was getting pushed around a little bit by Sharif Jackson, but I'd like to see Judge play through Barnes a little bit more and let him touch the ball to put some pressure on the big man Jackson. Jackson's doing well offensively. To slow him down offensively, you have to attack him on the other end of the floor and make him play defense. Easier said than done.
Sure is. We got a long stoppage here. All right, now back to action here as Nazir Tyler hits the shot. By the way, I do want to let everyone know that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jim Harity, council member at large. You can find him at 215-686-8925. Council member Jim Harity, proud Father Judge supporter. We're excited to have him on board and for him to be a big part of the reason that this broadcast is happening today. Roman Catholic also a big part of today's broadcast going on the air. So we thank both institutions and especially Jim Harity for his support.
Jim Harity's happy that the Crusaders are holding 4 here in the third quarter.
44-40, 4:40 to go. Roman Catholic with the basketball. Here's Sebastian Edwards. handing it off, and Ruffin has it at the logo. Sebastian Edwards gets it for Sharif Jackson. Sammy Jackson now at the top of the key. Not a lot of touches inside the lane. Sammy Jackson tethers his way, gets it back for Sebastian Edwards. It rattles and goes out. No good on that three-point shot from the right wing. And Edwards got it back after stealing it from Kavar Kennedy. Kennedy, a little dinged up on the play, was spinning away from Edwards. I think expected more contact, Matt. Went down on the play and gave the ball up. 44-42, and now an offensive foul is called against Rocco Westfield, and a little bit of backcourt pressure. A defensive switch up for Roman Catholic has been the difference on the last few possessions.
Well, defense is what turned up the heat on the Crusaders in the second quarter. The same is true right here. With Sutton on the bench, they're a different team, the Cahillites. And credit Ruffin once again for creating havoc in the backcourt. And 2-3 zone.
How about that for Father Judge? Going into a zone here.
I don't love going to a zone here because they have shooters.
Sammy Jackson took a long three that went off the heel. No good. Kennedy, good to see him back. It looks like at full strength after dinging up one of those legs there, it looks like. Just came down awkwardly on it. Now Father Judge into the half-court set. Everett Barnes gets it inside. It's blocked, but foul is called against Sharif Jackson. That's his third foul. So Tyler Sutton has been sitting for a long period of time. Now the question will be, can they possibly put Sharif Jackson and Tyler Sutton on the bench at the same time?
I don't think you can. In fact, I'd like to see Sutton come back in the game and add some energy, roll the dice a little bit here. You're in the state championship final in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He is a sophomore. It is his first go around here with Roman Catholic as he transferred in from the George School this past year. But I'd like to think that by now you trust your starting point guard enough to say you can't get another foul.
Timeout on the floor. Chance one more time to tell you about our buddy Jim Harity, who helped to sponsor the broadcast here today. Councilmember Jim Harity, you can find him on Instagram, on X, and at phlcouncil.com. Big supporter of Father Judge. We really appreciate that. And thanks to Sean Kilkenny for helping to put us in touch with Jim. We really appreciate his commitment to high school athletics, to Father Judge. And I guess hopefully some love for Bob Long Sports. How about that?
No
Sending
doubt
us
about
out
it.
to Hershey.
No doubt about it.
Thank you, Jim.
He's a Judge guy.
There you go. Just a big-time Judge guy. And there's a lot of proud Judge grads out there right now. A lot of them are here, Matt Paul.
I've been getting a few texts. My cousin, David Anthony Tersha, graduated from Father Judge in the early 90s, was a soccer guy, couldn't really shoot, but he was a soccer player, and he and all of his friends are proud alumni. It's funny how proud they are when their team is in the Catholic League final and now they're in the state final. I've never seen him wear more Judge shirt stuff than I did in the last 2 months.
Oh, boy, Matt. You're going to get into it with some Northeast people. Again, by the way. Again, it wouldn't be the first time. Everybody loved your Billy Cook stuff.
Oh, man. Coach Cook is not wearing the dunks tonight. I did run into him in the hallway, and he prefers the I think they're Pegasus, the Air Pegasus.
Yeah. They are Nike, though.
Yeah.
So true to the Father Judge shoe deal. Yes.
There's something about the insole. I asked Brendan Fox, son of the great Bill Fox, and there's something about the insole that he prefers with these shoes.
There you go. And we did, of course, have to make sure that we let everybody know that Chris Rowntree, of course, is an extremely generous man. Billy Cook, he has those dunks sitting in the closet gathering dust, but we're happy that that man is comfortable, and he's just a legend in Philadelphia basketball. So thrilled to see him doing well and supporting his team.
50-plus years for Coach Cookie.
Got a turnover, did Father Judge. Morton Rivera, contact, count it, and one. He went to the Euro step, got it back to his right hand over the right shoulder, and a heck of a finish all in one motion. He's got a chance to make it a 7-point game.
Just 6 points at the moment, but it sure feels like it's more. The momentum is in favor of Judge, and here comes Tyler Sutton.
Yep, can't really wait any longer, can you? In he comes, replacing Samaj Robinson, who picked up the personal foul there.
I like the move by Coach McNesby, a veteran coach in the Catholic League, a younger guy, but a veteran coach who knows what he's doing on the hardwood.
Well, we talked about guard high. We called Father Judge that for the first time last year, and a lot of these guards are back, guard high, back and better than ever, about to win. If they can hold on another state championship, they got to steal. It's one of those big-time guards, Kavar Kennedy, able to dispossess Roman Catholic. Kick to Morton Rivera in the corner. That was flat from the beginning, but it's an offensive rebound for Max Moshinsky. And there's a Roman Catholic KLA behind the play. Sebastian Edwards gets the steal, though. Up and down the floor they go. A foul is called against Kevin Beck. A good feed from Edwards to Tyler Sutton, who went up, took the shot, and came down right on the tailbone, Matt. So assuming he is okay, although it doesn't look that way right now, writhing in pain, scooting like a crab shuffle all the way to the Roman Catholic bench. Tailbone, there's not many worse feelings in the world than when you fall squarely on that tailbone. So we'll have a timeout with 2:40 to play, at which point we'll determine if Tyler Sutton can come back onto the floor to take those foul shots and play the rest of the contest.
Looks like a cramp in the I got my my binoculars on here, but it looks like a cramp. And he got hit hard for sure on the ground. He hasn't played much here in the third quarter, so you know sometimes your body's not used to getting up and down the floor right away, but he was inserted right into the offense, turned the ball over, gets the ball back in transition, knew he was going to get fouled, and it looks like a cramp.
So that's a good call there, Matt. Throw those binoculars on indeed.
You know, I was thinking about this. There's a player for the Toronto Blue Jays. I can't think of his name, but he's got a funny thing about eating bananas. I wonder if they ever keep fruit and things on the bench, especially for things like this.
That's an old video. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What's his name?
I don't know. He is of Asian descent, and so the accent comes through, and the video is just
funny.
Priceless.
He's funny.
He is funny.
Yeah.
A funny guy.
He knows how to play
because
to the audience.
monkeys eat bananas, and they never cramp.
That's right.
Never cramp.
But it sounds like he's saying another word. But I've always thought about this. As guys are, I know they have like electrolytes and stuff, but the bananas themselves are the greatest thing in times of need like this.
Potassium.
I'm no doctor, but
but Josh Verlin told us all about ACL injuries. He's not a doctor either. I'll take your word for it. So Sharif Jackson had to take the foul shots because Tyler Sutton is being worked on the bench. He hit them both. And so now it's a 5-point lead for Father Judge, 2:33 to go. Kavar Kennedy with the basketball in the front court. Roman Catholic in a little bit of a matchup zone here. Kennedy with the basketball, top of the key. Westfield now. Nazir Tyler is the one playing in the high post. He'll swing now to get up top and create an internal driving lane. Kennedy gets it in the middle of the zone, goes right up with it, couldn't finish. Good rebound by Sammy Jackson. A little too much English that time. Now Dwayne Ruffin pulls it back. Sammy Jackson, not a good closeout. He makes him pay with a left wing three. Sammy Jackson cuts it to 2, 1:56 to go third quarter.
And Roman needed that bucket in a big way. They were leaking oil, with Sammy Jackson to the rescue.
Nazir Tyler, Kavar Kennedy. Tyler shoots over the top of the zone and hits it from the right wing. Timeout on the floor called by Chris Rowntree. Just the first timeout that he's taken all night. And that's a big one for Tyler, but one where I think Rowntree realized there, Matt, 1, every possession's going to count, and 2, that wasn't our best offense against the zone. Good that Tyler hit it, but let's make sure we're all on the same page about the need to get the ball to the center of the zone and start to look opposite.
I credit Tyler, too. I mean, that's a big shot. Not a whole lot of offense in that play, but sometimes when you're feeling it, you make the shot. The coach says, good shot. Tyler Sutton is still being worked on. Cramps in the – you wake up with a Charlie horse don't know where that term comes from when you're sleeping and
Well, you might call that a Charlie horse, wouldn't you?
Bob Long going back to the Northeast accent. The Charlie Pizza with Gentili's.
For
with Tony
Gentili's.
Rhodes. The Charlie. I got a cousin named Charlie and his brother Franny.
It's a fun little tidbit on Twitter if you guys want to go back and check that out. Twitter and Instagram on Bob Long Sports. C.J. Miller into the contest for Roman Catholic with the 3 personal fouls. Sebastian Edwards with it now. Sammy Jackson wants to shoot, fires away, it's off the heel. Morton Rivera comes down with the rebound. Father Judge not slowing things up, but now a double team comes on Kavar Kennedy, steps through well, extra pass to the baseline 3. That one's no good from Rocco Westfield. And Dwayne Ruffin is fouled by number 3, Nazir Tyler. Just the 3rd team foul against Father Judge here in the 3rd quarter. It's 52-47. Father Judge 1:14 to play 3rd quarter.
That shot by Westfield. He loved that shot. He was in rhythm.
That goes in 8 out of 10 times, it feels like, for him.
Great ball reversal. Got to think about the next play.
Father Judge into that 2-3 zone with Westfield and Kavar Kennedy, the 2 up top. Double team comes on Sharif Jackson. Ruffin, how about that floater? He got 2 feet in the lane to let it fly.
I love the confidence that this young man is playing with.
And now 46 seconds to play. Does Roman Catholic, can they stop Father Judge? No, they cannot. Bully ball for Kavar Kennedy. Backs down Ruffin all the way to the bucket. Now C.J. Miller up the floor. He's fouled by Max Moshinsky. Another 3/4 of the length of the court pass off a made basket by Father Judge. Sets up 2 foul shots for C.J. Miller after the defensive foul by the Crusaders.
Sharif Jackson impacting the game at all levels. Does he get a credit for an assist if he makes these free throws?
He does not, but
they
you know
should.
what? You're going to have to take that up with the scores. Now, you tell me, why is it determined? Well, I guess that's why any assist works, but why determine whether it's a 40% free throw shooter or a 90% free throw shooter? Does that affect your assist total, Matt Paul?
You know what? Nobody looks at that stuff except for you, me, and maybe 4 other people, the assist totals in these games. But in my mind, he doesn't get this shot unless Sharif throws him the ball the length of the court.
Yep.
So that's what an assist is. In hockey, they give you a hockey assist.
That's true.
So
C.J. Miller makes 1 of 2. 54-50, 35 seconds left. What a game we have here tonight. It's been really, really good. Still have not seen Tyler Sutton after he went down with the cramp late in the 3rd quarter.
Last time they got Kennedy in the lane against Ruffin, the freshman who's been playing his tail off. They have Edwards on him at the moment.
Kavar Kennedy gets into the lane with the left-hand dribble, kicks it out, but it's an offensive foul. C.J. Miller takes the offensive foul with 7.4 seconds to go. And Kavar Kennedy's picked up his 2nd personal foul. Maybe more importantly, it takes a wide-open catch-and-shoot 3 from Rocco Westfield off the table from the corner.
They were shooting that ball all day long. But now big possession here, 7.4 seconds.
I'm going to guess that Tyler Sutton's not ready to come back in yet. I would have guessed 7.4 to go. An offensive possession. He would have come out if he could. Ruffin has it across the timeline. Miller, and good defense. That's Rakai. Mason came in, saved it in bounds. He's a little gimpy as he comes to the hockey boards here, but he prevented a transition layup for Roman Catholic. And Mason on 1 foot gimps his way back to the bench, but he gimps his way back to the bench, a defensive hero, as we've seen multiple times over the course of the year. He's a freshman that's an unbelievable on-ball defender.
This 4th quarter with 8 minutes left, these guys are dinged up, cramping up. The coaches are getting sweaty on the sideline. Who's going to step up here in the 4th quarter, Bob? What do you see happening?
Listen, I think what's got to happen for Roman Catholic is you need to find a way to get Tyler Sutton back on the floor. I think you need to get those 5 guys out on the floor, nobody with more than 3 fouls at this point. So I think you can reset and say, okay, the starters are going to go out there. Miller's going to be out there. If you can get Tyler Sutton healthy and ready to go, he's got to be out there. But for Father Judge, I just think they keep doing what they've done. They have owned the fourth quarter against Roman Catholic in the 2 matchups earlier than this point. I actually believe it's the first lead. Well, that's not true. They did lead by 3 going into the fourth quarter against Roman Catholic in the Catholic League Championship. They trailed going into the fourth quarter in the regular season game. But quite frankly, Judge trailed for most of that third quarter as well in the Catholic League title game. So this feels like new territory for them, where they have led for the majority of the contest. Let's tell you again one more time about our buddy Jim Harity, who helps to sponsor today's broadcast. Councilman at large. You can call him at 215-686-8295. Good-looking mugshot of him there. Happy to see Jim, a proud Father Judge man, supporting his Crusaders here to help us put this broadcast on for you. Follow him anywhere you follow social media. And I also want to give a shout out to Brian Haas, the athletic director for Roman Catholic, who defrayed a portion of the expenses of this broadcast as well. So come one, come all, Philadelphia Catholic League. We're thrilled that they want us out here for a big day like this.
Excellent coaching by both staffs. They know each other so well, very familiar with one another. 4-point game.
Kennedy now biding his time on the left wing. Does Edwards go under that screen from Barnes? Fights through it, and good defense there by Roman Catholic. On the weak side, as Kavar Kennedy tried to find Everett Barnes, they switched well, and Sebastian Edwards got the hand in there.
Defense has been the key for Roman for the most part. When they've made their runs is because of their defense stopping the offense, getting themselves out in transition.
As we wipe the floor here, I do want to give one more shout out, and it's to Mike Gross from LNP, the newspaper out there in Lancaster. He has been doing this for more than 35 years, covering high school sports. He's been on the Penn State football beat for a long time, so many other things that he has done. He's become a friend over the years of me being here at the Giant Center, going out on his own terms, retiring, which is unfortunately not something you see quite as often these days. And so Mike Gross, it's his last game of any kind that he's covering here tonight. This is a pretty good one for Mike Gross to cover on his way out. Also has done a great job for many years doing the Pennsylvania All-State. So he's arranging that one more time until our good buddy from LL Hoops, David Keeler, will take that over going forward. 7:30 to go. Father Judge basketball in the offensive half court, and a 5-second violation. That internal clock was ticking, but Roman Catholic, great man defense there, Matt Paul.
It didn't feel like 5 seconds, but I'm sure the referee had it correct there. But Rocco's got to keep that clock in his head, get the 4, either throw it off the defender's leg or, use one of the 4 timeouts that they have left.
Tyler Sutton back into the contest. Open 3 here for Sammy Jackson. That's no good. Big rebound there for Father Judge. Barnes ripped it away from Jackson, and Westfield comes up with it all the way to the rim. There's a follow flush, but there was a whistle first. Everett Barnes came all the way down the floor. He flushed it with 2 hands, but Rocco Westfield was fouled in the act. It was no good on his attempt, and he rammed into the stanchion here at the Giant Center, and he is now slow to get up. So we've seen Sutton. We saw several players in the various girls' games this morning. Ryan Carter really got dinged up in that game. You're not playing with a lot of stanchions at the high school level, Matt Paul. Is there something to that in a normal high school venue?
That's an interesting point. Not being accustomed to going underneath the basket or having a fall. I mean, you look at Roman's home gym, there's a wall there, so they might be used to some of that, but they're laying it all on the line. I think that's what we're seeing here, a toughness personified.
Westfield makes 1 of 2, and he is still gimpy as he comes down the floor. This is going to be a tough cover for him. C.J. Miller has it across the timeline. Sammy Jackson thought about the 3. Good kick out. Open 3. That one is no good off the hands of Tyler Sutton. Kennedy, another rebound. Feels like a ton for him here tonight. Kavar Kennedy to the lane, contact, and he's fouled. Fouled there by Sebastian Edwards. Kavar Kennedy is down and slow to get up, and it looks like Sebastian Edwards twisted an ankle as well. They are leaving it out there, as you said, Matt Paul.
You know, this season, the actual season started in November. They have preseason, they have summer league, they have spring league, they have off-season workouts. The amount of stress that they put on their bodies, especially when they're playing so far into March, is absolutely incredible. Never used to be like this. This is talking about 12 months of basketball. It's uncanny.
We have a long stoppage here, and a timeout will be called by Chris McNesby with 6:48 to play in the fourth quarter, 55-50. Father Judge leads over Roman Catholic.
Westfield's getting looked at, you know, by the trainers. It's just it's got it all. It's like a boxing match in the 7th round, and both teams are bloodied. One eye's is swelling up. People in the stands can't look, you know, every time. But these are two heavyweights, the two best teams in the state of Pennsylvania, that are going at it, and the fans are getting a great show here. The offense has slowed down, clearly, but I think, you know, they're just giving everything they have.
We talked about how they blew by both teams, the 41-34 final point total from the Philadelphia Catholic League Championship. Matt, you'll remember that game one between these two clubs, Judge 55, Roman 51 in a game at Jefferson University.
It was a great game. One story about Bill Fox. I'm working a camp, Germantown Academy.
And of course, for those that don't know, legendary head coach for many, many years, Father Judge.
People who know Father Judge, they know Bill Fox. In fact, he's top 5 all-time in Philadelphia basketball history in wins. So Bill Fox, the late, great Bill Fox, coming off of a Rolling Stones concert, comes into Germantown Academy camp and is the lecturer that day. He was so fired up, he brought me on the court as his guy that would do the drills, and he made me do the drills over and over again. He says I wasn't doing them well enough for his liking. He was treating me like I was one of his players. At first, I thought he was kidding. He said, no, do it again. Go faster. Do it hard. Left foot first. And I had such a respect for him after that game. I later played with his son, Brendan. And what a great man, classy individual who absolutely thrilled, I'm sure, that the Crusaders are back on top.
So out of the timeout, 2 free throws missed by Kavar Kennedy. Don't see that much. How about this turn of events? A corner 3 for Sammy Jackson. He's had a great night. It's 55-53, 6:33 to go. An absolute eternity of basketball left here in the 2024-2025 season. Kavar Kennedy handles the basketball, guarded by Sebastian Edwards, who's really stepped up defensively here tonight. Barnes trying to set up position. Now will set the screen. Kennedy to the hoop. Dangerous pass. Gets through to Nazir Tyler. Who's going to come up with it? Morton Rivera does. He'll glide to the rim, put it up and in. Over the top of Sharif Jackson. Another 3/4 of the court length pass. Finds Sammy Jackson. Sharif and Sammy Jackson have played well here tonight without any shadow of a doubt, but it's a 4-point deficit for Roman Catholic. Sammy Jackson well beyond the 3-point line, looking for Sharif Jackson. Instead of skip pass, Sebastian Edwards launches the triple, not even close. Loose ball, who's going to come up with it? They jam for it on the baseline, a held ball. It'll be Roman Catholic possession. And I know there's still 5:32 to go, but every one of these possessions feels important. That held ball situation equally so.
It can turn it into a turnover. In this case, it does not. But Rocco Westfield back in the game, trying to tough it out. Jam, Bob, you'd like to know, was one of the old plays by Bill Fox. Start the offense, they called it jam. Down screen into a cross screen.
We have an offensive foul called against Roman Catholic on the inbound. A moving screen. C.J. Miller picks it up. That is his 4th personal foul. He's going to stay out there, and I don't really blame Chris McNesby. I think you have to trust the horses that got you here to this point. Kennedy, point guard for Father Judge across the timeline.
No doubt. You got to dance with the date you brought.
Kennedy got to the elbow. Kick out. Morton Rivera thought about the three, got to a better spot at the elbow, tried to bank it in. It's no good. And a grab will be called inside against Roman Catholic. And that will go against one of the Jackson brothers. It goes against Sharif. That is his fourth personal foul. And so now C.J. Miller comes off the floor. Sharif Jackson stays on the floor. And the wonderful high school career of Sharif Jackson, certainly it'll come to an end tonight, win or lose. But we are one foul away from seeing the last of Sharif Jackson. One of the all-time greats, 1,000 rebounds. And a 5-second call called against Father Judge. Oh, and now Chris Rowntree says, I was calling for a timeout. He wasn't granted it originally. The official thought better of it and gave him the timeout. A murmur from the Purple Wave here in the Giant Center. Don't like that late adjustment. Chris McNesby is at half court, arguing with the official. He can't believe it, and it's hard to blame him, Matt Paul.
You don't see that too often, where a referee will change his mind without going to the other referee, and that's an unfortunate situation with 5:12 left here in the fourth.
It's unfortunate because I do believe that Chris Rowntree was calling timeout, right? It probably should have been granted right away. It should have been granted before the 5-second call was made. But then when that 5-second call is made and then you yourself just reverse the call 10 seconds later, that's a bad taste in your mouth. Nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy like when the potatoes are cold.
I don't know where you come up with these things, but I love it.
My mom doesn't like a cold dinner. If you cut her off on the boulevard, she'll wish you a cold dinner. She doesn't use vulgarity like I learned in the loony bin at Cardinal Doherty with Matt Kimbrell. Matt Kimbrell taught me more bad words than I have ever learned in my life. Cardinal Doherty alumnus, 1988, maybe a year before Pat Tobler. But very crucial call going back to the game here. Chris McNesby has to let the referees know he's upset. Maybe it affects the next call. Maybe it affects the momentum.
Baseline out of bounds for Father Judge. Everett Barnes, now a handoff for Kavar Kennedy. Slices into the lane, puts it up and gets the roll. Up and off the window. Kavar Kennedy gives Father Judge a 6-point lead, 5 minutes to go. Sammy Jackson. Love to see him blow by there. He got a head fake. Would love to see him blow by Barnes when he leaves his feet. Instead, they work it around the perimeter. Steps back. That's a tough three, and it's no good. Good rebound there by Sebastian Edwards. And a bad pass across the court from Edwards. Morton Rivera comes up with it. 1-on-5, and he gets bailed out with a foul called against Samaj Robinson. That is the 5th team foul against Roman Catholic. And check this out, Matt Paul. 5 fouls Roman Catholic, 0 for Father Judge. 4:38 to go, fourth quarter.
And Kevin Beck checking back into the game. He hasn't been in the game since the first quarter. Barnes was struggling there on the perimeter trying to keep with Sammy Jackson. Sharif's off the court, so it's a matchup decision by Coach Rowntree.
Father Judge is in a position here to win the PIAA state championship. They've won the Catholic League championship. They would beat Roman Catholic for the 3rd time. That is rarefied air. And yet this team, Matt Paul, was the 4 seed. That's right, the 4 seed in the Philadelphia Catholic League. You can make sense of that for me if you can.
Parity.
The league was unbelievable this year. People were talking about it being a down year. You just have to laugh a little bit at that. But now Roman Catholic, they got to get buckets, and they got to do it quickly. Samaj Robinson peels his way into the lane, dribbles it back beyond the three-point line. 4:20 to go. There is plenty of time for Roman Catholic. Open three for Robinson. Barely draws the iron. Another offensive rebound for Sebastian Edwards. And I think right now you have to rely on those 3 stars, but only 2 of them in the game. Tyler Sutton and Sammy Jackson, as Sharif Jackson sits with the 4 personal fouls. There you go. Get the blow by as Sammy Jackson gets inside, finishes with the left hand. And I think they've been looking for more of that from him. And a dangerous pass up the floor from Kavar Kennedy. Inexplicable from him, unconventional, and not what you would normally see. He is upset with himself as he threw that past Rocco Westfield, past the other baseline, and Roman Catholic will get the ball with 3:51 to go after a media timeout, trailing by 6.
I don't know if it was you earlier today. Is it still Saturday, Bob?
It is, barely.
We've been here in Hershey, beautiful Hershey, all day calling these great games. Been great basketball. But somebody made the point you can't get 7 points on one play. You can't get 6 points on one play. You got 4 minutes, 3:51 left in this game. You got plenty of time. You were right, Bob. Drive the ball to the basket. Sammy could have gotten an and one there, the old-fashioned three-point play, which, again, gives you so many advantages. Judge hasn't fouled. You're right. No fouls here in the fourth quarter. But if you just stand on the perimeter, keep passing around, the defense doesn't have to move. And you don't have to worry about help side defense if you drive the ball. But this team right now, they're looking for answers, but the answers are driving the ball to the basket.
3:51 to go, fourth quarter. I do think that was 10-time PIAA state champ, and more than that, Catholic League champ, Carl Aragale, that told us in the interview of the first game when he was watching the Lady Saints of Newman Goretti take home the title, that when they were down 7 going into the halftime break, that was his message to the group. Can't score 7 on one possession.
So it was today. Sometimes I think if I dream this stuff up or not, but Carl knows basketball, won a lot of championships. You got to just chip away like a chipwich.
3:48 to go. Roman Catholic in the offensive half court. Sammy Jackson inside for Sharif. Extra pass. Sutton, a 3 from the top of the key, just a little bit short. Rebound. Who's going to come up with it? Rocco Westfield takes it off the floor.
I like to see Roman pursue that ball with great energy. It's not do or die here, but you got to go for every offensive rebound.
And now Father Judge will slow things down a little bit. Kavar Kennedy with his back to the basket. Kavar Kennedy slices his way, kicks it out for Rocco Westfield. Westfield gets into the lane, plays off 2 feet, kicks it back for Nazir Tyler, who resets. And why not? 3:06 to play. Get it to your conductor, Kavar Kennedy, up by the logo. Kennedy takes the ball screen. Now dives to the lane. A kick out, and there's going to be an offensive foul. Wipe out what would have been a made 3 for Nazir Tyler. And Dwayne Ruffin, the freshman, stands in and takes the charge from Kavar Kennedy. Feet left the floor as he went into that passing motion. No body control. Matt Call, I have that as a good call from this officiating crew.
I do too. It took a second for them to make the call, but Kavar Kennedy is fatigued. He knows he's supposed to jump stop, but his body kept going. He's just tired. The guy's been playing 90 miles an hour the entire game. Been playing an outstanding game on both sides of the floor.
They get the ball to the center of that zone. Sharif Jackson, good footwork, spins it back out up top for Tyler Sutton. Skip pass for Edwards on the baseline. Inside they go for C.J. Miller. Kick out for Edwards. Back for Miller. Great two-man basketball, and he puts it up and off the glass for 2. 61-57.
Plenty of time. 2-2-4 here. Pressure's on Judge here to keep the possession of the ball. They turned the ball over the last 2 times.
That's as good as an offensive possession as Roman Catholic has had here tonight. Now Tyler has it.
Center of the paint, bounce pass to the big for a layup.
Kennedy has the basketball, pirouettes his way, and Chris McNesby is begging his team to come out and double team. A foul is called, and that will send Kavar Kennedy to the line for 2. I don't know. I get it. I get it. You got to extend the game. Kennedy really good at shooting from the line in the fourth quarter. His fourth quarter free throw statistics have been far above his 75% clip throughout the entirety of the season. And again, I know you've said it, this is where you would like to see a shot clock. Force Father Judge to play offense. Kavar Kennedy hits the first foul shot, 62-57. Father Judge leads 1:59 to play.
And the reason for the 5 foul change from 7 with the 1-on-1 is to prevent this type of end of game scenarios where you're fouling all the time and slowing the game down. Becomes like an NBA game that 3 minutes takes 30 minutes at the end of a game.
Makes them both.
I expect them to take a 3 here now that they've taken added those 2 free throws.
Tyler Sutton. Sammy Jackson, they close out on him well. Still in a 2-3 zone, but Father Judge is extending that zone. Sharif Jackson. Tyler Sutton. He drives into the lane, lost the basketball. Here comes Kavar Kennedy with it into the half court. He'll pull this one back. Big turnover there by Roman Catholic. Turns away, and C.J. Miller has fouled out of the basketball game. Kavar Kennedy back to the line. Not the guy that you wanted to foul, Kavar Kennedy, if you're Roman Catholic, and not the guy that Roman Catholic wanted to foul.
And I wonder, in the ref's mind, are they looking to foul here again? Are they giving him the call? It wasn't a call from the sideline. He was just trying to play defense on him. But you got your runner-up MVP on the free throw line.
Kavar Kennedy hits the first foul shot, 3 for 3 in his last 3 foul shot attempts. He's going to walk back to the foul, basically the half-court stripe here, and take a long walk back to 15 feet away from the basket.
Reminds me of Xavier Brown when he tied his shoelace at the Palestra to give him an extra breather when he was dribbling the clock out.
Makes 2. 8-point lead for Father Judge.
From 4 to 8 quickly.
Sebastian Edwards for 3. It's good. He rattles it home from the top of the key. You didn't think Roman Catholic was going away that easy, did you?
No way. No way, Jose. This is the 121 left in a game here. You know Roman's going to take threes. Unfortunately, the ball went inside. Everybody turns and looks at the ball. Kick out by Tyler Sutton, who is, not having the same offensive game that he's had in the past. Just 5 points. Been injured over the course of the game, been in foul trouble, but there makes a big play to kick it out to his teammate for the top of the key 3.
Thanks, everyone, for listening along all night and all day long. 4 contests here on Bob Long Sports. Thrilled to support the Philadelphia Catholic League and see this season to its conclusion. The Catholic League is going 4 for 4. 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A champs. The only question is who will it be at the 6A level. And if you haven't, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us, doesn't cost you anything. And oh, by the way, you're going to get notified when we're going live. Next thing for us will effectively be football season. We're really, really excited for that in the fall, but we've had a great time with hoops. Now Father Judge, entry pass. Tough place to catch the ball in the corner, double teamed, and a foul is called. Guess who's going back to the line? Kavar Kennedy.
And I expect the ball to go in again. Judge Faithful expected to go in again. Stick to your routine. It's an easy way to pad your stats late in the game. Not that he's doing that, but I try to teach guys, if you want the ball, it's a great way to add points to your total. Not everybody wants the ball late in the game at the free throw line.
Kennedy wants the ball, no doubt about it. I think back as we are about to see his last high school action before heading to Merrimack next year. We talked about Joe Gallo and his ability to recruit Philadelphia. But a freshman in high school he was at Father Judge, preseason type tournament, Diane Moscow Foundation shootout. By the way, one of the great high school basketball events in the country. We love calling games there every time we can get out. Kavar Kennedy against Central York, a team that the next year would end up winning a state championship. Hit a walk-off 3 that ended up through the double doors at Archbishop Wood. The entire team celebrating as he hit that. He hit both free throws here, and he's hit big shots his entire career. 7-point lead. Roman Catholic needs a 3, you would think. Sammy Jackson took a tough 2 instead. It's rebounded inside, and Rocco Westfield is fouled with 58.3 seconds to go. He will shoot 2, and Father Judge can start to feel it.
Roman Catholic foul number 1.
Matt, if they finish this off and it's 3 wins against Roman Catholic, if it's winning at the Palestra against another 6A school, if it's winning the 6A state championship and the first state championship in school history, I know you're a quasi-Northeast Philadelphia historian. Best season in Father Judge history? Question mark?
Brian Fox, I see in the stands, is a spitting image of his father, ran the Yankee offensive play to perfection. I'm going to let him and Jimmy Reeves, who was on that championship team, decide that. I saw Ernie Gallagher in layup lines. I never saw Ernie play. I saw Larry Lowry play at the great Father Judge gym. I've never seen a team this talented play for Father Judge.
Tyler Sutton, after the 2 made free throws, gets to the basket, missed it. Kevar Kennedy brings it down. 48 seconds left, and he is fouled by Sebastian Edwards. That's Sebastian Edwards' 4th personal foul, and Kennedy just keeps racking up those points, and they're going to run out of here in Hershey as state champs. Kevar Kennedy has 27 points, reminiscent of when Daniel Skilling for Roman Catholic years ago scored 30 points in the state final. Kennedy is 13 for 15 from the foul line here tonight.
And I love 13 for 15 from the foul line. That just makes me happy. It literally brings a smile on my face to see a young man score that many points from the free throw line, absorbing contact, tough as nails.
Derek Morton Rivera has 19 points for Father Judge. Those are the only 2 guys in double figures here tonight, Matt, in a game where they've put up 71.
Amazing. Mashinsky was putting pressure on the ball last time, forced Sammy to take a tough shot. His length is really causing havoc there on the perimeter.
Sutton now, guarded by Moshinsky, gets into the lane, kick out. Samaj Robinson, no good. Morton Rivera brings it down, and Chris McNesby is calling off the dogs. All Father Judge needs to do now is get it across the timeline. Morton Rivera will do that.
Here's to the Crusaders, onward to victory. We're out to win, boys, ever loyal we shall be. Here's to the Crusaders. Maybe I always wanted to go to Judge, but I'm so happy for these guys. It's not easy to take down Roman Catholic 3 times in 1 year. It's hard to beat them 1 time a year.
The storybook season has a happy ending here tonight. Father Judge, for the first time in program history, is a state champion.
And Roman fought hard, didn't have their best game, got dinged up, foul trouble, but still 4-point game at halftime. Competitive battle, fight. Judge just had too many weapons, and Kevar Kennedy just willed the Crusaders to victory.
Father Judge, you cannot take issue, you cannot nitpick this season. They've won every big game that they were supposed to win. They beat Roman Catholic 3 times. They beat St. Joe's Prep, unbeaten in the Catholic League going into the last weekend of the regular season. They beat them twice. There are 4 Catholic League state champions. West Catholic in the 3A, Devon Prep in the 4A, Newman Goretti in the 5A, and now Father Judge in the 6A. And I would say, Matt, head and shoulders above any of those other 3 teams in terms of what was determined on the floor. Father Judge is the best basketball team in Pennsylvania in 2024-2025.
That's no doubt about it. They've proven it time and time again. And I think there's a sigh of relief on both ends that the season's over. The preparation that it takes for a 1-month state tournament preparation of week to week when there's only 1 game a week. It's just really hard for these guys mentally to stay focused, stay locked in. You got to give credit to the coaching staff for preparing these guys, for keeping them healthy, to continue to believe that this is that the efforts are worth it to get to Hershey, Pennsylvania for a state title. the first in school history.
I want to thank again Roman Catholic and Brian Haas for helping to defray the costs of this broadcast and for sponsoring this game. We've had great relationships with Roman Catholic over the years, and Brian Haas is the centerpiece of that. So thank you to him. We also want to thank Jim Harity, council member at large and a Father Judge alum who no doubt is happy right now, happy that he sponsored this telecast and hopefully is listening and his family listening all over the state, and happy that Columbia Blue, as you said, Matt Paul, is state champion for the first time. Thanks to Jim, and we hope to talk to you down the road. Matt, how about a final thought from you? You broadcast, came into the day never doing radio and never doing a state final. Now you've done 3 of both. What is the takeaway for you?
Well, I've been told that I have a face for radio, so this is a totally different experience for me. There's a different cadence to it. As we talked earlier, it's actually a different way of looking at the game because there's so much more you have to focus on to bring the viewer in. And there's so much that happened here with the injuries, with Rocco Westfield running up and down, trying to get himself back in the game to will himself to the scorer's table. The timeout call, that was a costly timeout, 5-second confusion in that moment. That was a game changer in my view, but you can't take anything away from the effort, preparation, and the execution, especially by the senior Kavar Kennedy. He led his team to victory, and he's the story of the game in my view.
Thrill of victory, the agony of defeat as Roman Catholic accepts their second place trophy and medals and just heads down. They shouldn't have their heads down. It was an excellent season for them. They just ran into a team that proved over the course of the year that they were just a couple of possessions better, and it's a game of inches here at the high school basketball level. One more shout out to our buddy Brian Mermelstein, who did a great job with this PCL film. I can't wait to see what he does in the next 24 hours to get that one ready to go. Tyler Sutton up in the stands with his family. A terrific season for him. 2 more to go as a member of the Roman Catholic Kaelites. But we want to thank Brian. We want to thank everyone at both schools for supporting what we do. Glad we could bring the action to you all season long. For Matt Paul, burgeoning star in the broadcasting industry, glad we got the chance to work together, partner. Good stuff. And for everyone here at Bob Long Sports, including Bruce Badgley, who was on for the first game of the day, I am Bob Long saying so long from the Giants Center. What a way to cap off the 2024-2025 high school basketball season. Father Judge leaves no doubt a state champ